In the early 1830s, a young girl, Ellen, pleads for the arrival of a supernatural being to ease her loneliness.
A guardian angel. A spirit of comfort. A spirit of any celestial sphere. Anything. Hear my call.
Her cries awaken a mysterious creature who makes her pledge herself to him eternally. Years later, in winter 1838, Ellen, now married, lives in the town of Wisburg, Germany, with her husband, Thomas Hutter.
There's nothing to be afraid of.
The honeymoon was yet too short. Take off your shoes.
To ensure financial security for themselves, Thomas accepts a commission from his employer,
Now, I have
Herr
been
Knock,
entertaining
to sell the
dealings with
decrepit
a
home
foreign
Grunewald
count,
Manor
very
to the
old
reclusive
line
Count
nobility, very
Orlok.
old and eccentric. He wishes to acquire a home here in our Wisburg.
Oh, yes.
To retire here, he has one foot in the grave, so to speak.
Ellen begs him to stay, since she is haunted by dreams of marrying death himself, and is disturbed by the pleasure it gives her.
You weren't there? Standing before me, all in black, was death. But I was so happy.
Thomas leaves her in the care of his wealthy friend, Friedrich Harding, his pregnant wife, Anna, and their two young
Take
daughters.
care of Ellen. She nearly begged me to remain here.
And toss aside your fine opportunity.
I fear her past melancholy returning.
Naturally.
Arriving in Transylvania's Carpathian Alps, Thomas is shunned by the local peasantry for associating with Orlok. That night, he witnesses a group of Romans exhuming and impaling an alleged vampire's corpse with a stake. The corpse vomits blood. The following morning, Thomas finds the entire village, as well as his horse, gone. He continues his trip on foot and is approached by an unmanned carriage, which takes him to the Count's castle. Thomas meets with the strange, menacing Orlok and is forced to complete the property sale immediately. When Thomas cuts himself during dinner, he blacks out and awakens to find bite marks on his chest. Orlok steals Thomas's locket containing a lock of Ellen's hair and coerces him into signing a document written in occult script. Thomas, becoming increasingly sick, later finds Orlok sleeping in a coffin and attempts to stake him. But Orlok awakens and feeds on Thomas again. Thomas escapes Orlok's wolves and is nursed back to health by Orthodox nuns at a nearby church. Meanwhile, Orlok sails for Wisburg with plague-infested rats, killing the ship's crew along the way. In Wisburg, Ellen suffers from bouts of sleepwalking and seizures that her doctor, Wilhelm Sievers, struggles to treat. Sievers locates and consults with his former mentor, Alban Eberhard von Franz, a scientist ostracized for his occult beliefs. Von Franz believes that Ellen is under the spell of the Nosferatu, a demonic, plague-bearing vampire. Elsewhere, Knock is institutionalized after killing sheep and eating them raw. Sievers and von Franz search Knock's office, believing he is a servant of the Nosferatu, who is Count Orlok. Thomas returns to Wisburg as Orlok's plague begins to ravage its populace. Knock kills a guard and escapes custody and escorts his master to Grunewald Manor. Orlok appears to Ellen, where he confesses that he cannot love, but her pledge has intertwined their destinies and made him insatiable to possess her. The document he tricked Thomas into signing is revealed to void their marriage. He warns her that she must submit to him within 3 nights, or he will kill Thomas and let the plague consume Weisberg. Ellen later has sex with Thomas. After confessing her past with Orlok and experiencing a seizure, Orlok sees this and retaliates by murdering Anna and her children. Mad with grief, Friedrich dies from the plague while lying with Anna's corpse. Von Franz's occult research suggests that the Nosferatu can be destroyed by a fair maiden's willing sacrifice. Knowing that she is the only person who can stop the plague, Ellen conspires with von Franz to keep Thomas distracted so he cannot stop her. Thomas, von Franz, and Sievers go to Grunewald Manor, where they accidentally kill Herr Knock, who is sleeping in Orlok's coffin. Realizing von Franz's deception, Thomas rushes back to save Ellen. While von Franz destroys the coffin, Ellen summons Orlok to her bedroom and repledges herself to him, distracting him by allowing him to feed on her blood until sunrise, with the sunlight killing him. Thomas returns and holds Ellen's hand as she dies. Von Franz confirms that her sacrifice has freed them from the plague of the Nosferatu